How much water do you really need to drink? Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Mike, and we're looking at the truths about...
Can you guys hear that? Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. Perfect.
About wellness trends, and today we're going to explore water intake. How much do you really need to drink, and what are the actual facts out there? Water is obviously a crucial component to our bodies. In fact, it makes up the majority of our bodies. Our blood, our organs, all of that needs water to function. So yes, we absolutely do need water, but the myths that have been propagating for years about how much water we have to have may be slightly inaccurate. Patients often come into my office and ask, how can you tell if I'm dehydrated? Or, I'm drinking 8 glasses of water a day. Is that enough for my body? There's usually an answer to that, but it's not by the amount of glasses. It's by something else. Pee. I just wanted you to pop up on screen a giant P. Drinking more water is often said to be the answer for everything. What amazing benefits await for you if you drink more? Will you be more energized, less hungry, have clearer skin, have better bowel movements? But how much do you really need to drink? Is 8 glasses of water a day really the goal for everyone? Patients oftentimes come in with the preconceived notion that they're supposed to be drinking 6 or 8 cups of water a day. Many times I find them to be either overhydrated or underhydrated depending on their body type, their activities that they're performing. What's most important for patients is to figure out if they're dehydrated, what is actually happening. And once we put that whole picture together, then that's when I'm able to give the best advice. Dangers of dehydration are wide, and they vary person to person. Someone may experience confusion, someone might have a decreased appetite, someone might have decreased metabolism. You're staying hydrated not only for your mental sake, but also for your physical sake. It's truly an important factor in your health. Drinking 8 glasses of water a day is commonly heard wellness wisdom nowadays, but it's also becoming trendier to measure your hydration with things like apps that remind you to stay hydrated and water bottles that track your progress. I like when patients take initiative and put a focused effort to make sure that they're well hydrated. But when you cross that line and it becomes something that causes anxiety in your mind, that could actually do more harm than good. So what I always recommend to my patients is stay alert about your hydration status. Don't become anxious. We've all heard the advice to drink 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water a day, but where does that come from? A minimum water requirement seems to have first been established in 1945 when the Food and Nutrition Board of the National Academy of Sciences published their dietary guidelines. Later, Frederick John Stair, a nutritionist, co-authored a book where he suggested drinking at least 6 glasses of water a day. Water content is extremely important for the human body. As a family medicine doctor, when we have a patient admitted onto our wards, we would constantly be calculating maintenance fluids, trying to make up for losses that the patient may have had. When a human being is sick, they're actually requiring more water intake than the average human that's healthy. Now imagine you're at home and you want to learn more about how much water you should be drinking. One of the first steps you may take is to visit Google and see what you find online. This is a preliminary first step, and the only reason you should be doing this is to further a better conversation with your doctor. This is what happens when you Google, how much water should I drink? We have 701 million results. That's a lot of water. I hope most of it is clean. One section that comes up is people also ask. I tend to recommend to my patients that we shouldn't be making calculations based on weight. The only time we do this is in a hospital setting when we're trying to calculate maintenance fluids for a patient. Otherwise, your kidneys do a great job of managing that, and you should really drink based on what your body requires. Think about it if you're thirsty, think about what your urine looks like, and then make some educated decisions from there. I think this question stems from the fact that people are calculating their BMIs and then deciding whether or not they should be drinking more water because of that. Personally, I don't think height plays a role here. If you are heavier, you probably will need to take in more water, but I don't see how height falls into this calculation. I would encourage to not measure the amount of water you're drinking by ounces. I think you should figure out what your body needs based on how you feel, what your mind tells you, and when we look down in that toilet and we see our color of our urine, but more on that later. A gallon of water a day is not that much water, so I think that would be pretty reasonable. It obviously depends on who you are as a person, the activity level of the things you're doing, so I guess to each their own. This is a Google Trends graph of how much water do I need. As my patients have become more interested in their health, they've realized that staying hydrated is a critical component of not only staying healthy, but of performance. So they've certainly been asking more and more questions on the subject. How much water do you really need to drink per day? The Institute of Medicine actually recommends that women get 2.7 liters of water per day. That's 11 cups. But here's the thing. They don't say you need to drink 11 cups of water a day. It's very often that folks underestimate how much water and hydration they're consuming because they don't realize in foods like fruits, there's actually a significant amount of water content. Think of watermelons. They have a significant amount of water that does hydrate you. So exactly how much water do you need to drink per day depends on several factors like your age, sex, your diet, activity level, and your lifestyle. The most important thing we need to think about when we're deciding our hydration status is our activity level. If you're exercising in a very hot environment, you're going to need significantly more water to make up for the losses that you're experiencing being in a heated environment. How can you tell if you're hydrated enough? Well, if you're thirsty, your body's telling you that you need more water. Another good clue, the color of your urine. Your kidneys are actually the organs that are responsible for controlling the color of the urine. One of the waste products your body creates is called urea, and your kidneys release urea throughout the day. Now, when you're well hydrated, your urine looks clear or maybe pale yellow. But when you're dehydrated and your kidneys are actively trying to hold on to as much fluid as possible, it's going to look quite dark. Now, if your urine has suddenly changed colors and you've tried being more hydrated and it's not going back to normal, perhaps that's a good reason for you to go see your doctor. So, what can more water do for you? Being properly hydrated can definitely affect your mood, your energy levels, and your skin's moisture, but it's not going to be a magic bullet. By that, we mean that you can't just chug a bunch of water one day and expect immediate results. Just keep in mind that you want to stay hydrated as a baseline way of staying well. And if you're experiencing things like hunger or headaches that are caused by dehydration, having more water can certainly help with that. People have all sorts of questions.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Do you guys find that helpful? Give me a thumbs up. Good. All right. Okay. So now, remember last week when Allison shared about, take care of skin health, that water was one of the was very important, right? And Dr. Mike actually just mentioned that, right? So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and if you guys have paid attention, which I hope you guys did, you guys should know the answers, okay? So how can we indicate that we want water? So if you want to raise your hand, and I will unmute you, okay? When do we know that we are dehydrated? Go ahead, Gabriel.
When you're thirsty, when you get water, when you get dehydrated, and you'll get hydrated, your kidneys will turn like that. So you need water for your kidneys to.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Yes, that's absolutely correct. So when we feel that we're getting thirsty, that means we're already at a point of dehydration. Okay. So our body is telling us, okay, you know what? We need water. Okay. What else? There's another one. Very important. Very important. It's a very important clue. Nobody? Okay. So how about when we go to the bathroom and we have to pee? Okay. What if the color of our urine is really, really yellow? Are we hydrated or dehydrated?
Dehydrated.
Okay, Gabriel, go ahead.
Dehydrated.
Yes. You're absolutely right. Okay. Remember, our kidneys are trying to store our water, so we need to have, enough water going through our system so it could clean out the system. That's what the water does too, right? It cleans out our bowel system as well. So what did he mention? What did Dr. Mike mention about how much water do we need to intake in terms of
11
cups
days.
or, sorry?
11 days. You take like 11 cups a day, or like 11 cups a day,
Well,
or 7 cups a day.
That was still a question. It's more about your lifestyle, right? Are you physically active?
Your sex.
Yeah, your age. So it's really just overall at least 2.5 liters a day. So
your age.
Yes. So it's really important, guys, that, you know, when you guys work out, always have water. So one of the things I like to always recommend when you guys go somewhere and you guys do not know how much water you take. Any of you guys have a flask? Raise your hand. You guys have like a flask that you always bring with you? Yeah. Always fill it up to the top. Okay. When you leave the house, always have that with you. Whether you go to work, when you're gonna go for a walk, where you're gonna go exercising, always have a flask with you. Okay. And that's a great way to measure your, once it's empty, could be a 16 ounce, could be 24 ounce, could be a big one. You can fill it up again. Exercise, yes. All right. So what else does water do to you? Okay. Anybody? If we drink a lot of water, if we stay hydrated all the time, what does it good to you for your body? If you don't want to say it, just put it in the chat box. Okay, Nicole, Kelly, go ahead.
It's to keep you healthy and energy. Yeah, and you have to drink 8 or 10 cups of water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what water does to you, proper hydration, it makes you feel good. You know, you're in a better mood. Okay, you don't get any headaches, because a lot of times when people get headaches, it's due to lack of water, lack of hydration. Okay, right. So it's so important to have water all the time.
Also, nothing is good when you need a drink after yes, or other sports.
Right. Thank you, Nicole, for that. Yes, Kyle, we need to do, after we dance, definitely have some water, because we're sweating, right? So everything we sweat out, we want to take in, and we Zumba. Yeah, there you go. That's a great workout, by the way. So when you guys go to Zumba, when we do have the Zumba, our virtual Zumba classes, it's always good to have water, okay? So now you guys have kind of an idea how important water really is for us, right? What's the percentage of our body that's made out of water? Anybody know that?
It's made out of blood and oxygen. It's blood and oxygen.
So our body is 60%, at least 60% made out of water. So that's why it's so important.
It's blood and oxygen.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, okay, guys. So that's why when we work out, when we sweat, or when, you know, even when we sleep, you know, we sweat when we sleep, right? So the first thing you do when you wake up, drink a glass of water. Okay. Any questions? No questions, guys? Okay. Well,
I do have a question.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Sorry, I tried typing in the chat. Like, when you play a video game, make it thirsty, shoot some water.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Playing video games, it takes a lot of energy for some people.
Yep. Yeah, I tried typing
right on.
Before. It takes a long time to finish.
Right. Okay, thanks, Ryan. All right, guys. If you guys have any health questions, Malleola questions, incentive questions, song requests, please email me at sohisports@sohawaii.org. Again, sohisports@sohawaii.org. And if you want to watch this presentation again, or any of our other Malleola events, go to our YouTube. And Wednesday, we have our bodyweight workout with Coach Denise. She's back. The ID number for that is 815-3406-5939. Again, 815-3406-5939. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna have to make a little bit shorter. We have a very, very busy week this week. But I'm glad you guys were all here today, and hopefully we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Okay?